Florida knows wild weather better than most, but what hit this morning stunned even the experts. As dawn broke over the Gulf Coast, a furious storm system exploded out of the Gulf of Mexico and slammed into Mexico Beach without warning. Trailers flipped like toys. Power lines snapped and sparked. Campers who came for a quiet weekend suddenly ran for their lives. The air roared like a freight train tearing through the shoreline. Phones across Bay County lit up with emergency alerts as meteorologists detected violent rotation within the storm. Families huddled in bathrooms, whispering prayers that their walls would hold. While first responders charged toward the debris fields near the El Governor Beach Resort, few realized that another disaster was already forming farther south. In South Florida, thick tropical air collided with high-speed winds in the upper atmosphere. The result? A violent cloudburst stalled directly over Boca Raton. 5 inches of rain fell in just 2 hours. Streets vanished beneath swirling, muddy water. Cars stalled and floated aimlessly like lost boats. Boca Raton Airport shut down completely. Its runways transformed into shimmering lakes. Drivers trying to get home found themselves trapped in rising floodwaters. One elderly man was pulled from his sinking car by strangers who risked everything to save him. Social media filled with videos, headlights flickering underwater, sirens wailing, panic spreading as fast as the storm itself. Mexico Beach awoke to a nightmare. The sun barely rose before a thunderstorm system with tornadic strength slammed into the small community. Meteorologists tracking radar saw a spinning core of rotation charging ashore. Phones buzzed with warnings. Sirens howled. Residents had only minutes to react. The worst devastation hit the campground beside the El Governor Beach Resort, a beloved stop for snowbirds and travelers. RVs and trailers lay on their sides, wheels jutting skyward. Aluminum siding twisted like ribbons. Debris covered the sand. Campers crammed into restrooms and concrete shelters, clutching each other as the storm roared like a locomotive. When the winds finally eased, firefighters and sheriff's deputies rushed into the wreckage, moving between overturned vehicles and crushed campsites. Power lines hung loose, sparking in the dawn. The air was silent except for the shouts of rescuers searching for survivors. Miraculously, no fatalities were confirmed, an astonishing outcome considering the damage. For Mexico Beach, it was a haunting déjà vu. In 2018, Hurricane Michael, one of the strongest storms in U.S. history, reshaped this coastline. Now, today's destruction reopened old wounds. New concrete buildings built after Michael stood strong, but older homes and mobile structures failed again. The storm showed no mercy, striking every weakness it could find. Meteorologists analyzed the data and found clear signs of a tornado: twisted metal, uprooted trees, and radar rotation markers. Experts warned that violent weather is becoming faster and harder to predict. Storms form in minutes now, overwhelming even the best systems. The calm of a sunrise can transform into chaos before anyone has time to react. While rescue teams cleared debris on the Gulf Coast, another crisis raged hundreds of miles away. Boca Raton's skies darkened from a mild drizzle to a catastrophic deluge. A warm air mass sat heavy over the region while upper-level winds raced overhead, stacking thunderclouds into a conveyor belt of fury. 5 inches of rain pounded the city in less than 2 hours. Major roads disappeared under waves of water. Cars floated, engines hissing. The airport's runways became a shallow sea. Flights canceled. Travelers stranded. Ground crews immobilized. Neighborhoods across the city turned into rivers. Water crept up porches, through garages, and into living rooms. Power flickered and transformers exploded in the distance. First responders waded through chest-deep water to reach trapped residents. One video captured an elderly man being rescued from his car as floodwaters swallowed it whole. Headlights glowed eerily beneath brown waves, and voices shouted for help in the rain. City officials activated flood protocols. Pumps roared to life, barricades went up, and crews battled to clear drains already choking on debris. But the storm was relentless. Within minutes, entire neighborhoods turned into temporary lakes. Boca Raton's proud infrastructure, built for tropical weather, failed under the sheer force of the rainfall. Experts warned of polluted runoff pouring into wetlands and the intracoastal waterway, threatening marine life. Within days, scientists predicted algae blooms and fish kills. Officials faced a grim truth: Florida can no longer rely on old weather patterns. Fast-forming, high-impact floods are the new normal. Boca Raton, built for sunshine, had become a city underwater. Meteorologists soon pieced together the puzzle behind Florida's 1-2 disaster. Both events were fueled by an energized, warming climate. The Mexico Beach system showed clear tornadic rotation, with the Doppler radar detecting tight swirls moments before landfall. Tornado warnings were issued, but the storm strengthened faster than anyone could imagine. Wind speeds exceeded 100 miles per hour, leaving destruction equal to a direct tornado strike. The harsh truth is this: Florida's storms now give residents minutes, not hours, to prepare. Danger arrives without warning. When seconds matter, strong shelters and resilient infrastructure can decide who lives and who doesn't. When the skies finally cleared, the full scale of destruction came into view. First responders stretched across 2 coasts, rescuing people from debris and rising water. In Mexico Beach, emergency crews moved through flattened campgrounds, calling out for survivors. Power companies raced to restore lines. Families emerged from shelters to see homes torn apart. Some arrived at emergency centers with nothing but the clothes they wore when the storm hit. Volunteers handed out food, blankets, and hope. In Boca Raton, rescuers waded through flooded streets to reach stranded drivers. Utility workers checked drowned substations. Businesses shuttered as sandbags lined doors, trying in vain to block the creeping tide. Officials warned residents to avoid floodwater contaminated with sewage and oil. The cleanup was immense and exhausting, a reminder that even brief storms can leave behind long, painful recoveries. City leaders spoke of resilience and rebuilding. Yet they also admitted their infrastructure was never designed for this level of destruction. Stronger building codes, smarter drainage systems, and sustainable funding are no longer options. They're essential. Across Florida, residents looked at the wreckage and realized this wasn't a freak event. This is the future. Tornado force winds tearing into coastal homes. Flash floods drowning modern cities. The storms aren't rare anymore. They're reality. Every disaster exposes the same weakness: buildings that crumble too easily, drains that fail too quickly, and families forced to rebuild over and over again. The time between disasters keeps shrinking. Preparation must begin long before the next alert buzzes on a phone. Scientists have warned that a warmer planet fuels stronger storms. Hotter seas drive more violent hurricanes. Rainfall becomes heavier. Storms arrive faster. Nature is rewriting the rules, and Florida is living on the front line. But amid the chaos, hope still shines. Mexico Beach is rebuilding stronger foundations. Boca Raton is rethinking flood defenses. These communities are adapting, refusing to give up. They show courage and a belief that paradise is still worth protecting. The next time the sky darkens and the alerts flash, remember this day: 2 disasters, 1 morning, 1 warning we can't ignore. The storms that struck Florida will not be the last, but awareness creates action, and action saves lives. If this story opened your eyes to how quickly weather can turn deadly, share it. Like it. Let others see the truth before the next storm hits. Florida's future depends on choices made today. The question is no longer if these storms will come. It's how prepared we'll be when they do.